Okay, so we got everything connected. You can see the RGBs are hidden well. You can't even see them if you tried. So we got that. We got all the mess of cables back here. And then we got this. We'll see if we can fit it here, but it looks like the keyboard's a little bit too big with that to fit the mouse, so probably gonna leave it up there. Got the screen on. Have to adjust the date and time. And all the cables are back there. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, since we didn't have the dedicated graphics card, if you put a dedicated graphics card in, you want to plug your monitor into the dedicated graphics card. Don't plug it into the motherboard connectors here. So yeah, if you use a NVIDIA or AMD graphics card or something, connect it to the video card that will be down here. Don't plug it up here, otherwise you won't get the dedicated graphics. And then also, most motherboards will actually default to the dedicated graphics, so if you plug it up there, you probably won't even get a picture on your screen. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Just have to install Windows on it now, or Linux, or whatever you want to use. Okay, that's all. Bye. Okay, so now I'm going to show how to install Windows 10. So my brother got also this wireless card. So basically Windows 10, I created a bootable USB. You can create that actually with another computer. You just go to Google and search Windows 10 USB drive creator. Microsoft actually now, they made it so it's free to create a bootable USB with Windows 10 on it. You just need to have access to a computer with a Windows 10 license already there, and they'll let you download that. So what you do, make sure you get the boot device going. Let's see what's going on. So usually it's F2 or delete, sometimes it's like F1 or something. So to get to the BIOS, so go into the BIOS. They actually ended up putting the hard drive on the wrong SATA port. Apparently it's the upper one, not the lower one, but it should be fine. He's not plugging anything else in there, so we're not going to worry about it. So once you go there, they have the boot priority here. You can see it's actually going to boot from my USB first. So if I restart, it should actually automatically go there. There are all these other settings if you wanted to change things, but I'm just going to leave it alone. So boot option is already set to my USB. Sometimes if you don't want it to boot from USB, because sometimes it's annoying, you'll leave a USB plugged in and it'll start booting, you can move the hard drive to the top. But I'm going to leave it like that for now. So we're going to exit, and then we're just going to save changes and exit, and let it boot up. On a lot of motherboards, actually they'll have like a button that you can change the temporary boot device, so that way you don't have to make the USB or CD, whatever you're booting from, the first boot. So here it actually, oh, let me restart that so you can see it. So actually in the bottom right corner, it'll give you a list of what you can press. So if you look here, you can do F11 to go to the boot menu. Oops, started it already. So if you wanted, you can manually boot up to the right device that you want, so if you don't want it to go directly. So F11, and then it'll give you a list here. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the setup, since I know now that we can temporary boot device, and then I'm going to switch the order of this and move the SanDisk one to the top. This is nice, it's very easy to do. So do that, save it, exit, and yes. Okay, now I'm going to press F11 since it gives me the option here. If I don't, it's going to say no boot, or it'll find it on its own. So do that, F11, and I can pick UEFI and go. So this gives me, I made this USB with multiple boots. I can actually pick Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, but we're going to do Windows 10. It's nice that now you can get the license online, so I'm actually going to install without the license, and then I'll go to the Windows Microsoft Store, or if it's cheaper at a store or Amazon, then I'll just get it from there. Make sure not to get the OEM copy. because those aren't actually licensed to be sold by Microsoft. It's just people like stealing keys or something and trying to sell you something, and they don't care if it goes bad on you. They're not going to refund you your money. So make sure you get the right key that is actually a Microsoft license key, not OEM from another company or third party person that they're just trying to rip you off, and then if anything goes wrong, they're not going to care and say, well, we sold it to you and you accepted whatever. So here, if you don't have the key right now, just say you don't have the product key, and you can actually install without. You can pick which version. We're just going to do home because we don't need all this other stuff. Okay, so you do that, accept license terms, next. I always usually do custom just so I can make sure what hard drive and everything, and if there's other partitions you can change them around. So I'll pick that one. Got the 1 terabyte SSD. Click next. It'll automatically create the partitions, and then we wait. So this, you just wait a long time. The Windows 10 installation is actually pretty quick in most cases. Usually from start to finish you can do like the drivers and everything, just run through Windows updates. It'll find most of the drivers on its own, and then once you make sure all the Windows updates are done, just check the device manager to make sure all the drivers are there. As long as there's no little triangles, you're probably good to go. Especially on desktops. Laptops are a little bit more tricky. Sometimes they'll have special hardware that Microsoft doesn't have drivers for, so you'll have to go to the manufacturer website, and in some cases even the manufacturer won't have that driver available, so you'll have to Google around and search for it. But in this case, hopefully everything's going to be there. Just gotta wait for this installation. So after this installation, yeah, just make sure to do all the updates, check the device manager, make sure there's nothing wrong with it, nothing missing, and you should be good to go. The rest of this installation is pretty much self-explanatory. It'll finish this process, and then it'll start asking you what you want as your username and things like that, if you want to use Cortana and privacy agreements and all of those things. Just go through that like you normally would, and yeah, that should be it. Alright, I don't know if there's a point. If you want to keep watching, you can keep watching, but it's basically just going to go through all this percentages thingy and then just the regular setup. I guess if you stay and watch at the after this finishes, I'll show you how to quickly get to the Microsoft updates, so that way you can make sure everything's up to date. But yeah, so I'm just gonna sit here now and let you watch it count. Alright. Alright, so you can see his fancy keyboard. I don't know why gamers like this noisiness. To me, it's so annoying. If I'm playing something, especially with speakers, and I'm not using headphones to drown out this, I don't know why people like that, but to each their own, I guess. I'd rather have a quieter one. Like this one, even if you want to be quiet, look. I'm gonna like try and do it as quiet as possible. See, why do you want that? I don't get it. I had a customer that they had a like super soft, like super silent. It still gives you feedback, the same feeling, but it's like it's completely silent. I don't know why people like this. I mean, especially if they wear headphones. To me, it's like, why do you have this? Is it just to annoy me? Because you're wearing headphones, you can't hear it, but I can hear it all the time. So, I don't know why people like that, but yeah. There must be a big market for it because everyone's buying those keyboards. Okay, so it's still going. going. Still going. Come on, come on. The last steps are pretty quick, I believe. Only this percentage counter is going to take a while. Okay, come on, finish all those. I don't know why it's installing updates. It doesn't even have internet. Doesn't make sense. Okay, finishing up. Come on, finishing up. There we go. You can just restart right away. You don't need to wait for that green bar. Okay, starting up. Should automatically boot. You see the little dots going, that means Windows 10's going. It's gonna say getting devices ready or something, I think. Yep, starting services, getting devices ready. Go. Getting devices ready, getting ready. Still getting ready. Still getting ready, come on. Alright, restarting again. Should be starting up to the Windows startup, setting up username and everything soon. Okay, just a moment. Oh, so there's one thing with creating a account. When you create a user account, if you don't have internet, it'll create a normal user account. Usually I don't create a password because I don't like to do all the security questions it asks. So if you don't set up a password right away, it'll let you create the account and then add the password later without the security questions. So right now Cortana is just popping up basically saying if you want me to shut up, you can click this mute the microphone button. Otherwise she's just going to keep talking to you. But right now the sound, I guess, is muted on the speakers or on the screen. So we're just going to go through the normal setup. Yes, United States. Yes, US keyboard. Skip another keyboard. So if you want, you can add another keyboard, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, let me turn my hotspot. For some reason my camera decided to stop recording. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I pushed something on accident or just a moment. I think it got tired of looking at the same screen. Okay, just a moment, just a moment, just a moment. Come on. There we go. Do you have one? Okay, you can sign in. Alright, so he's gonna sign into his Microsoft account. You don't get a look at that. We'll show you again. Okay, so he signed in with his Microsoft account. Do you want to create a PIN? I think creating a PIN is kind of stupid, but it looks like it's forcing you to. I had so many people use the PIN and then they forget their PIN and then it ends up then they forget their password because they stop using it. So, but it looks like you have to create a PIN, so that's kind of dumb. Okay, I guess you can create your pin and then we'll let you see. Okay, so after he created his account, it asked if you wanted to reconnect to if you wanted to connect to OneDrive to save files on the cloud. So you can decide if you want to just keep it on your computer or actually save them to the cloud. Then it asks if you want Cortana. Usually I just leave all that stuff on even if it's not going to be used. Accept all that junk. And let it go. Alright. It's going to do some more setting up, most likely installing more drivers. Several minutes, I hope not. Okay. Just wait for the screen. Yeah, if you get bored, just fast forward through this thing. Okay. I like to record the whole process so you can see how long it's actually going to take and you won't think something's wrong with your computer. This one has like which i7 do you have?
Processor?
Yeah.
8700K.
8700K. So if you have something similar or that, then you'll know. Okay, it should take approximately that long. Okay, so once you get to that, push the little Windows key, search update. Usually it'll be stupid and it'll show settings at first. You can just type it again, it'll find it, press it. If it doesn't find it, you can just keep doing it again and again until it actually finds it. So check for updates. I'll go in here, device manager. So you can see here, it actually has generic drivers for everything already. But you'll want to upgrade everything. So right now it's just using the Intel graphics. Yeah, so updating, you can see it's going to update lots of security updates and update Windows 10 and things like that. It's actually downloading, I believe this is probably for a network thing, Realtek, I don't know. It could, actually that's for the sound. Let's see. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any actual drivers, they're all just updates to Windows 10. So these shouldn't take too long. Download all of those. Then one thing I like to do, I don't like all these bright stuff, so usually I'll go into here, settings, change the theme to dark theme, and I like to set the start page to Google. I don't know what he likes, but that's what I like to usually do. Oops, not clicking it. Oh, it's just hard to see. Okay, set that, save the home page. And another thing I like to do is go to the advanced settings. Usually it doesn't block any pop-ups, it actually just blocks important pop-ups, like some people will try and print and it blocks that. So I turn off the pop-up blocker and I'll set the default download location to the desktop, so that way you clean up your downloads instead of just leaving them all in a folder and then making a mess. So another thing I like to do is go to this website, night.com. Oops, not that. I typed it wrong. Sorry. I missed one I here. So it's this, night.com. Okay, so it'll go to this. This website's pretty cool. It makes it so you can actually install everything with a single click, so you don't have to worry about going next, I agree, I accept. So usually I'll do all the run times, I'll do Chrome, and then I'll do Malwarebytes, and I'll do 7-zip. I don't know if he likes any other things. Do you like GOM Player or stuff? Okay, so usually I'll use, GOM Player. Skype. Okay, so we can also add Skype in here. What else? Do you use Discord? No? Okay. I don't think you need any of these other things. Media. Nope. Nope.
You need Java? Oh,
I already did those. Do you use Dropbox for anything? Nope. Okay, that should be it. So after you do that, just click Get Your Night Night. It'll download. You can save it, and you can run it every so often, and it'll actually check for updates too. So that's nice. Do that. I hate that pop-up, but it does help some people if they don't know what they're doing. But usually I'll go to this, the thing, search UAC, enter on that, go down, disable that, and okay. And then yes, get rid of that. So another software I like to use here is oops. This one, C Cleaner. People call it CC Cleaner, but it's just C Cleaner. Get that. Okay. So free download. Yep. Go download. Scroll. Oop. Did I click it? Okay. And scroll down. Go to the free download. Oh, all the updates and stuff are slowing it down. There we go. Wait for that one. Save it as well. So that one's already downloading and installing everything. Alright, see? Adobe Air already installed. Silverlight's installing. Now I can run the C Cleaner setup. One nice thing with Windows 10 is you can run like a lot of installations at once and it won't complain as much as the older operating systems did. So I don't need this. I'm already installing Chrome. Customize. Usually I turn off the inform me of updates so it doesn't keep popping up that saying that you need to update. Run that. Alright, then C Cleaner is about to pop up. Usually I don't use the built-in Microsoft Mail thing, so I'll unpin that from taskbar, and I don't really use the store, so unpin from taskbar. Then in here you can go to Smart Cleaning, uncheck that if you don't want it to keep popping up to tell you it can clean up stuff on its own, and then I'll close that. Usually once I finish everything I'll run C Cleaner to clean it up, but for now I'll just do that. And then I also like to put Adobe. You don't need Microsoft Office, right? Oh, you do? Okay.
Excel, Word.
Oh, you still use that stuff? Even though you're not in school? Okay, then Adobe Reader.
At least Excel.
Alright. Come on. There we go. Uncheck the extra junk as usual. Install. This one doesn't like to run while other stuff is running. So Adobe Reader, instead of like running it after, I'll just save it and leave it there until everything else is done. Alright. Because this installer is kind of annoying. Even if the install fails, it'll just delete the file and then you have to do it again. I don't know why, it's kind of stupid. But okay, so we got all of that. And then another thing I like to do, I don't like all the annoying sounds that the computer makes. So usually I'll set it to that, no sound scheme. Huh, it did it by itself. And then I'll set this thing to do nothing, which is like if you do a call through Skype or something, it'll actually make all the rest of your sounds quiet, which is kind of annoying if you're watching something. Okay, so I'll do that. Then another thing I'll do is go to the Ease of Access Center. So I'll just search ease and I'll have Ease of Access Center. And usually I'll turn all of those off, which it looks like it already did. And then I'll go to the Make Computer Easier to See and turn off these shortcuts so you don't accidentally press them. These ones you'll probably almost never press, but I just turned it off anyway, so it looks like that one stayed off from... It must have transferred over from the Microsoft account. And then make it easier to focus on tasks. So The most annoying one people have is sticky keys. They'll play games and press the shift key and it'll pop up, so I disable that. Alright. And then turn off the filter keys. Okay. Turn off toggle keys and turn off the unnecessary animations. Alright, once you do that, close that, close that. We don't need any of these anymore. Alright, see how quick that was? It already installed everything for me. I didn't have to do anything. It's still doing some updates. Another thing I like to do is go to personalize, themes, and then desktop icon settings. I like to have the computer icon. I don't know why Microsoft got rid of that, but I like having that, so I'm going to put that back. And then, now that those are done, we can run this, unless the update's going to interfere with it, but we'll see. Keep these 4. 1, 2, 3, and then I like to grab the 4th one is the built-in Microsoft antivirus, so I'll go in here, program files, Windows Defender, go to this blue one, right click, drag it out, and create a shortcut. I'll do this, and oops. So create that Windows Defender shortcut, and then I like to create a new folder here and just call it utilities. Alright, and then drag all these 4 into there. Oops. And then Chrome and everything I like to keep down at the bottom here. So similar thing with Chrome. I like to go into the settings. There. And go into advanced settings. Then same thing with the downloads. Change that to the desktop. Where is it? There we go. Desktop. Okay. And then make it so every time you download something, it'll ask where. In the search bar, I search pop. And then I'll disable the pop-ups here. Oops. What did I just do? Oh. He has the shortcuts on his mouse and pressing random stuff. So go to the pop-ups and then enable those. Alright. Close that. Close that. Then Adobe's installing. It's almost done. After that, I delete all this extra junk. Oops. I meant to delete it, not throw it into there. Okay. Delete that. And delete that. And then GOM and stuff I'll just put down here. And then I'll delete that as well. Get rid of all that stuff. We just got that. Malwarebytes. Oops. Open up Malwarebytes. Close this one. Launch Adobe Reader. Okay, it's gonna ask if I want it as the default in a bit. There you go. Yes. Continue. Why does it keep focusing? Okay, change to Adobe. Okay, okay. Stop auto-focusing, weird thing. Okay, like that. Oh, guess the screen's too bright and weird. Alright, close that. Okay, the trial start, that's fine. Settings, go to protection, enable rootkit scan. Close that, close that. Open this one more time because it's going to pop up a little window. There we go. Close that. Close that. Throw that away. And then right click the computer. Go to properties. And then I like to go to an advanced system settings, performance settings, and disable all this stuff. And then disable the shadow, disable the translution, and then disable the slide boxes. So now the stuff should open and close much quicker. You don't have to wait for the animations. And then I also like to create a system restore point once I'm done. But let's see if it's done updating. Oh, it wants to restart, so we'll restart. Okay, finishing some updates.
Do I also need to install some drivers?
Nope.
Nope.
Probably did all of them already. Come on, Windows. Finish getting ready.
It's already everything there.
Pretty much all the updates finds it usually. Right, so we're gonna wait for all these updates. Usually I'll run Windows updates until it doesn't find anything else, and then just finish creating the run CCleaner, and then create a restore point. But that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna let this run, and yep. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message or comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right.